On, Jenny. This is Chuck Harden with RoadSync. Wanted to first say thank you for taking time out to talk with me today to give me a little conversation about you and your husband's business and what you guys are doing and expecting to grow to. So congratulations. But want to put this quick video together so that everyone have an opportunity just to see how the platform works and some of the flexibility that we have to help with efficiencies, with protecting the transactions, all the things that we do within RoadSync. We are industry specific, so we're very similar to Square. I know that's who you guys are currently using. The biggest difference is that we're specific to tow and repair. Like this, the only industry we work in. So we don't deal with barbershops, we don't deal with clothing stores. This is all we do. So it does give us the ability to kind of better service you guys and kind of what you deal with on a day-to-day basis. What's also very unique about our company is that we're integrated with Comdata and WEX in processing their fleet checks. So instead of having to be on the phone for 5 or 10 minutes to verify those payments, they go through our platform in like 10 seconds and we direct deposit those funds into your account the very next day. So you no longer need to go to the bank. You no longer need to go to truck stops to get them cashed in. We're going to put the money in your account right then. Also, with that integration, you can now accept fuel cards as payment. So, if a commercial vehicle doesn't have a fleet check or a credit card, every commercial vehicle has a fuel card in it. So, it's just different ways that your customers can pay you and one platform to track everything. So, instead of looking over here for fleet checks, over here for credit cards, over here for cash, even one platform can track everything. Right. But we're not a one size fit all. So we will build it based on what you guys need. And what I'm going to do very quickly is just show you how it looks and some of the flexibilities that we have with the platform. Right. So hopefully you guys can see my screen. This is our RoadSync platform. So it is internet based. So anywhere you have access to the internet, you can pull up the platform. You can also have it on your cell phone. We do have an app, whether it's a Droid or an iPhone. All right. Now, one of the features I did think you guys might want to take advantage of, it doesn't cost anything different, is our work order authorization. And what this does, it creates a good communication link between you and your customer to let them know and agree to what they're financially responsible for. So just to show you how it works, you'll click new work order authorization. The reference number will probably like be the date. You'll put the customer's information. And today I'm going to be the driver. Now, normally we communicate with customers via cell phone with text messages, but for this example, I'm going to use my email. Just we can all look at it on the screen. Okay. You can have the option for pulling a deposit directly off their credit card before you even go out to do the work. So for some of our customers that say may need to drive over 50 miles or over 100 miles, they might want to take a $200 deposit, non-refundable, just to be sure that they're still there once you show up, right? But it's not mandatory for everyone, or it's not mandatory for any of them. It's an option, all right? We're going to choose a work order template and we're going to hit send to recipient. Once you hit send, this little yellow airplane is going to pop up to let you know that the work order has been sent, but it has not been opened yet. All right. Now, let me show you what your customer sees from their perspective. So I'm going to go to my email and I already have my RoadSync authorization ready to be authorized. So everything on our platform is real time activity. There's no downtime, right? So as the customer, I'll now click into here. I'm going to see my company information up top. And these are all the legal terms that we put in play just so your customer knows what they're financially responsible for. You're going to give us your rates that we're going to add into the platform. That way, when you show up, they can't say, well, you charged me, you told me $95 over the phone. And you can say, well, I'm sure I said 95 per hour. But people hear what they want to hear when they're on the side of the road, right? But to make this authentic, they actually have to do an e-signature and sign this to send it back to you. Okay. And once they hit send, we let the customer know that the authorization was successful and approved. And on your RoadSync app, that went from yellow to green to let you know that they've agreed to the payment terms that you require. All right. Now, with that particular part of our platform, most of our customers don't use it for every transaction. Some of them just use it for after hours, like from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., just to be sure before you get out of bed to go do the job that they're going to be there and they've agreed to the payment that you said you require. All right. But from there, you can go out, do the work, get everything together, and you can build an invoice directly from the work order. So I click create invoice and it just pulled all that information forward. So you don't have to retype anything. We hit save and continue, and this is where we can put in your invoice number. And I believe Gina told me that you guys have an invoicing system where you write up the invoices already. You can continue to do that. And at the top of the page, most people have an invoice number, and we'll put that number right here in our system. That way, our records will match your records. Okay. We can't capture any other information that you want us to capture about the vehicle, maybe like a license plate number or a serial number or a trailer number. You can have as much information as you like, or you can keep it very, very simple. All right. We'll hit save and continue. And these are all the ways that you can now take payment: the fleet checks, fuel cards, and credit cards. But 98% of the time, you're going to use our remote checkout function, because what the remote checkout does, it sends a link to the customer and allows them to put in their own information. The reason that's very important is because one, it's going to make you 100% PCI compliant. So you never have to see the customer's card information. You're not typing it in on your phone. It's the most top secured transaction in the industry right now. All right. So we hit remote checkout. And here is where we can either build out the invoices in case you don't want to use the paper any longer, or we can just have one big box that just says invoice total. We just type in a total dollar amount. All right. If we do build it out, it just gives a professional look to it. We can add in hourly rate, whether you're out there 4 or 5 hours, whether you had to travel, 50 miles, 150 miles to get there. And it creates a summary of everything right here on the right hand side. All right. You can also attach pictures to the receipt. So a lot of times our customers do before and after pictures of the work. So you can take a picture with your cell phone and you can actually attach it to this particular receipt, right? And if you do decide to write up the invoice, you can actually take a picture of your written invoice and attach it to the receipt as well. That way you actually have a digital copy of the invoice as well as what you wrote up that you actually handed to the customer. All right. Our credit card fee is a flat 3.5%. It doesn't vary based on card present or non-present. And right now, I believe Gina told me that you guys are currently eating the credit card fee. You can continue to do that if you choose to. What 90% of our customers do is push that fee to their customer, right? So the 3.5% that we charge, you have an option of pushing it to their customer. So if you look at the screen, the work that was done cost $430. If they decide to pay with a credit card, they're actually going to pay $445 because that's the 3% that's added on for the convenience fee. And you have the ability to turn that fee on or off per transaction. So depending on the customer, if you have a contract with them and do a lot of work, you might not want to charge them. If it's somebody call you off Google, you might want to be sure you're getting all your money. Either way, you have options for it. All right. I'm going to scroll down and hit confirm and check out. And this allows us to confirm who we're sending the invoice to. So for example, if you're working with a driver, he's going to say, well, my dispatcher is going to pay the bill, or the owner of the truck is going to pay the bill. I'm just the driver. Then you can send it directly to the owner or directly to the dispatcher. Saves a whole lot of time and efficiencies of being sure you're getting paid as quickly as possible. So we're going to hit send recipient. And this little green arrow lets you know it's sent, but this gray box shows you it is currently unpaid. So on this particular part of our platform, you're either going to see gray, meaning it's unpaid, green showing it's paid, or you may see a red which shows it is declined. And if it is declined, you can actually click right here on the platform and it'll tell you why it is declined. Card does not have enough funds to complete transactions. So they ain't got no money, right? It might say invalid CV code, right? But something to let you know that the transaction did not go through. But at this point, there's nothing else you physically have to do in order to collect the payment. The customer is actually going to type it in. So let me jump back over here to my email so you can see what it looks like from the customer's perspective, right? I already have my RoadSync invoice ready to be paid. We're going to put your company logo right here to help with your branding. And now the customer will click in here and make payment. Now, if they're a RoadSync trucker, it will take them directly over to our RoadSync app. So we do have an app specifically for trucking companies where we already saved in their credit card information. We have their ACH information if they choose to pay that way. We even have a receipt book for the truckers. If not, they'll just continue as guests. And this is where they can come in and see the full detail of the work that was done. And any pictures that were taken will show up down here at the bottom, right? And even if you wrote up the receipt, it will show up down here at the bottom as well for the details of everything that you wrote out. Okay. And they will click in here to make payment. And I do want to point out, if you notice, that the screen is very narrow on my computer screen right now. And that's because it's designed to be viewed from a cell phone. So it's very easy for your customers to make payment and easy to follow. They won't get lost, right? So they'll hit make payment. If they do choose debit or credit card, we let them know that this is a 3D secure transaction. And let me share with you why it's so important it comes from their cell phone. Because every computer, every cell phone, every tablet has its own IP address. So if they ever come back and say, hey, I didn't run that transaction, somebody stole my credit card, the conversation becomes, well, did they steal your credit card and your cell phone? Because this transaction came from your cell phone, right? So we use the technology to kind of help us win a lot of chargebacks. And they can pay with a fuel card or a fleet check. And we work with Comdata, EFS, and T-Check. And the great thing with our process is the fact that it doesn't matter which company they use, your process does not change. You don't have to call a different phone number or go to a different website or even be sure you have the right color check, right? You no longer need the paper check. So I'm going to show you how it works. We'll hit EFS and we actually create a digital check number for you. So you no longer even need the paper check. All we need is the express code, which the customer will already know. It does ask for a driver's license, but it doesn't have to be accurate. And it asks for the state. And as soon as they hit pay now, this lets the customer know that the payment is good. So what normally takes 5 or 10 minutes on the phone, we just did in like 10 seconds. If I go back to my email, we've automatically emailed them a receipt for the payment they just made. And on your RoadSync app, that went from gray to green to let you know the payment is good. And at this particular point, you now have a digital copy of everything. So if your customer calls you back 2 weeks from now and say, hey, you did some work for me 2 weeks ago, I lost my paperwork, can you send me a copy of the receipt? Instead of you flipping back through files and paperwork, you can simply click right here and you can text it to them or email it to them. Right? And this is actually how the receipt will look. So of course, we're going to put your company logo up here at the top, all the details of the work, and the pictures will show up down here at the bottom. All right. So everything in one nice, neat place. And now that we have the money, we will track the money. That's very important. So you can pull reports with our platform. And with our reporting system, we track everything from the day you get started with us. And the great thing about all of our reports is they download into Excel, which is like the greatest program in the world. So you can like do everything with it. So let me open up Excel. Well, hold on, I need to stop sharing here and go back and now share Excel. Bam, right there. So now that we do have it in Excel, it'll let you know whether there was a fleet check, a fuel card, a credit card, a remote checkout, who did the transaction, the customer's information. We even break out the convenience fees and everything that were paid out. So the calculations are done for you and even the work that they're being paid for. So this way, you now have some efficiencies and can go back and check to see what you might want to increase on your pricing and your rate. And you have data to keep up with all that, right? So again, everything in one nice, neat place, right? And the good thing with the platform is that we will set it up on like a 30-day trial. Meaning we'll let you use the entire platform, put all your pricing in, even help train Gino how to use it. Because the great thing is that she can send the invoice while you still out there doing the work. So before you even finish, the customer can pay the invoice before you're done. And you don't have to worry about being a collection agency. All you're doing is just going out making work happen, and she can handle the payment stuff from her end. All right. So we will set up on a 30-day trial. Our normal setup fee is $250 to set up the account. But if you do the trial, as long as you run 8 transactions within that 30-day time frame, we'll totally waive the setup fee whether you stay with us or not. So not trying to really lock into something that won't work, but do want a fair chance to earn your business. And the only fee that's attached to our account is a licensing fee. It's only $100 a month, and that's regardless of how many users you have on the account. Right? So only $100 a month to get everything that we just talked about. Okay, so want to throw this together for you. Hopefully that was thorough enough that you understand. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and write it down. Make sure you get a chance to get, I'll take care of all those questions. I think Jenny told me you guys are going to Vegas at the end of the week. So enjoy your vacation. Have a great time. We will talk next week. Take care of any questions and go through the paperwork of getting everything set up. All right. I appreciate the time. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.